little fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. Now, this next item is very, very interesting to me because it's something I've talked about, but really more in terms of Canadian politics and where I see the future. But it is in Britain, and I came across this purely by accident by looking at something else the other day. And I've entitled it UK Education System Ripe for an Islamic Takeover. This potentially is a huge story that was never covered here. A whistleblower known as Trojan Horse in the City of Birmingham in the UK that contains a massive number of Muslims. What was known as the Trojan Horse letter was sent to Birmingham City Council. Now, depending on who you believe, it either came from an Islamic extremist or someone who got hold of it and leaked it. Either way, it was and is extreme. If you've been listening to my morning moments long enough, you will know that I have mentioned and made reference to this term Trojan horse and my theory on it. But here it is in action, in actual action. And I quote from Sky News and others. There is a timeline for you to understand. It goes back a few years, but it comes right to the current period of time. And it goes like this. A letter is sent to the Birmingham City Council, apparently from an Islamic extremist, giving details of a takeover of Birmingham schools known as Operation Trojan Horse. The plot, it says, has seen 4 head teachers removed from the post and replaced with Islamist appointees. It highlights 12 other schools that are to be targeted. The letter has now been widely denounced as a fake, but it is thought to have been written by someone who is trying to draw attention to the problem. I'm abbreviating the timeline, but the final part of the timeline is in 2014, July 22nd, when a report was done by a Mr. Justice Clark who finds there has been coordinated and deliberate and sustained action carried out by a number of associated individuals to introduce an intolerant and aggressive Islamic ethos into a few schools in Birmingham. Now, I'm going to put links to the whole article so you'll be able to see it in depth and follow it through from beginning to end, but it's way too long. But I'm going to fast forward now to 2017. The Department of Education has gotten involved, and this is where it gets rather ugly, and this is from the Daily Telegraph. This is their headline. Alarm at move to reveal identity of whistleblowers who exposed the Trojan Horse scandal. There is a move to reveal whistleblowers' identities to head teachers facing disciplinary action linked to the Trojan Horse scandal. Astonishing, beggars belief. Unions and school chiefs have said. Birmingham City Council said it is extremely alarmed that lawyers acting for the Department of Education, that's the UK government body, had written to notify dozens of people who had given evidence about allegations of hardline Islamic influence in classrooms on the promise of anonymity. The NAHT teaching union, some of whose members were among those who received the letter, also criticised the move, saying it could dissuade future whistleblowers from speaking out. So rather than supporting additional people, one would assume that are teachers, the Department of Education seeks to unmask the very people who exposed the Muslim takeover of British schools. This is astounding to me. However, I want to put this addendum in. It sounds an awful like what's going on currently in Toronto and surrounding areas, and I have no doubt at all that it's happening elsewhere in the country of Canada. Now, I will put links to this article and other articles that follow the same timeline on my website. But it makes you think, doesn't it, that if they can control the schools, they can control the school bodies, the Parent Teachers Association, then they start controlling the curriculum. And then what's next? You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you will find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, Gab, and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments on Spreaker.com under A Radio. That's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. You can find all my podcasts and all my morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com. Click on the Morning Moments tab.